This
the
conference will now
topics
be
which we
recorded.
discuss as of now. Any doubts do you have? I think
No,
you
sir.
are not practicing, huh? It seems no one is practicing in
No,
this
sir.
batch. Huh?
No, sir. Organization structure completed, sir. Organization structure completed.
So now I'm in practicing vendor master. Let's say.
You are practicing vendor master.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so where are we yesterday? Yesterday we were discussing the quota arrangement, right? Okay, so let me go to the recording and I will see where we are yesterday.
Service master. Sir.
Hmm?
Service master.
Service master, right?
Actually,
Okay.
we were able to create a service master. Service master. We created service.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me go to the SAP system, and we were able to create the configuration. We were able to create the service category, and we also created the number ranges. We also able to assign the number ranges to the service category. Also, we started with creating the service master data. India 123. So the transaction code to create the service master data is AC03. So let me go to the materials management, then service master, then service, then go to the AC03. AC03 is the transaction code which will be used to create, change and display of the service master data. So I will go to the create service button. So I will try to give some naming convention over here. Let us say I am trying to create a painting services. Okay, so I will select the relevant service category. What is the service category which we have created? SRV 9, right? Yesterday we were able to create the service category SRV 9. Then what is the unit of measurement? So the unit of measurement which we need to select to calculate this particular service is AU, and the short text allowed. If you want to make some changes to this particular description of the service some later point of time, you can make changes by using the short text change allowed. If you want to delete the indicator, you can put the deletion indicator, but I don't want to put the deletion indicator. Okay, so now we have a service data, basic data. In the basic data, we need to select the service. In the basic data, you need to select the service category or the service group. Like in case of the material master, you have the material group. In case of the services also, we will have the service group. Okay, all the services that are having same characteristics in nature, I will be grouping under one group, nothing but a service group. Let us say these are painting services, right? So I will select the relevant service group that is being created for the painting. Let me try to find it out, painting, if there is any painting services. Okay, we don't have. So but if you want to create a service that belongs to the service group, you can create in the back end. Okay, let me try to create the service group. So where I will create the service group, whatever may be the fields that are populating over here, we need to do the backend configuration. Then only those field values will be available for your representation purpose. So I will go to the SAP reference implementation guide, then go to the logistics general, then you have a material master, and here you have settings for key fields, and material groups, right? Define material groups. Here itself you can create a material groups or the service groups. Let us say I will select any one of the group and I will try to name this particular group as a painting services. So it is already there. Let me try to create 11. So I can save it and I can select it over here. Now if I want to select a relevant service group 00111, I can put it over here, which is nothing but a painting services. Then authorization group. You already know what is authorization group. I think we discussed this tab yesterday as well. So I will select some authorization group over here. Then division. So I will select some of the division which is relevant for this particular services. Then tax indicator. I will select the relevant tax indicator over here, whether it is a off tax or full tax. You just need to select the relevant tax indicator for this particular service. Then valuation class. So you just need to select the relevant valuation class for the accounting purpose. If you wanted to post the accounting transactions against this particular service, you need to select the relevant valuation class that is pertains to this particular service. So 3200 is the valuation class and the formula. So yesterday we have seen the formula that you are going to use it to calculate the net service value of this particular service. Okay, whether it is a volume based formula or area based formula or something else. So you just need to define the formula and select it over here. Normally painting services I will be calculating based upon the area, right? Length and width. Okay, so you need to define the backend formula and select it over here. You can define the formula at service master data level. So I will go to the where the service master data is there. So I will go to the materials management. Here you see there is something known as external services management. So here you can define the formulas, right? Formulas for quantity determination. Okay, so normally a painting services are based upon the area, right? Means 1 square feet of the painting is equal to 1000 rupees. Then if the painter did 10 square feet of the painting, then 1000 multiplied by 10 will be the total net value of that particular service. So what is the formula I am going to use it to calculate this particular service will be called as a length and height. So I am taking length and height as a relevancy to calculate the total value of this particular service. So you just need to select a relevant formula over here to calculate the service. Graphical representation. If you want to display some figure over here or the picture, so that just for representation purpose, means if somebody says painting services, if I show some picture over here relevant to the painting, then those people will be able to clearly understand what type of service it is. So I just need to select the relevant let us say I will select one of the paint which is relevant for the painting services. Somewhere the painting machine and all those things will be there. Let me see where is the picture. Yeah, so this is the painting machine and this is the house. If you show this particular picture, just for understanding purpose, that's it. There is no much use over here, but if you want to show something what type of service you are trying to do it over in the diagrammatic format, so it will be good. So that is the meaning of this particular selection of the graphical representation. And the tax tariff code, you just need to select what are the tax that is being relevant for this particular services. You just need to select the relevant tax tariff code. Okay, so then we have a standard service category. You just need to select the service type over here. Okay, within the service type, what are the drill down services? I will select it over here. Let us say it is a wallpaper. Within wallpapering, it is a double layered or the multi-layered wallpapering. So I will select it is a double layered wallpapering. Within this, again, if I want to specify something as a further subdivision, I can divide it over here. Then time management. Time management is nothing but a hierarchy or the wage types, whether you are going to make the payment on weekly basis or hourly basis or monthly basis for this particular service. So you just need to select relevant hierarchy and the relevant wage type over here for this particular service. Let us say painting services is the main hierarchy. So what are the wage type I am going to consider for the painting services? So the wage types will be defined by the human resource management module people. If you have a human resource management module developer, then you can ask them to create a wage type. From there you can pull the data into the wage type. Purchasing data, so you already know. If you want to restrict the services of this particular procurement of the services from this data onwards, you can restrict. I think we discussed everything yesterday. Okay, so international article number. If you wanted to do the transactions against this particular service at the international level, like import and export of the services, you can go for the international article number that is being specified. You can use it over here. So EAN, if you want to define the EAN, you can define in the backend configuration as well. I think where you are going to define the international article numbers, I think, let me see somewhere, I think here only you can define the international article numbers. Number range, define attributes, match codes, release procedure, formula for quantity determination, condition of the tax at individual service level, messages, develop enhancement for external services, baddies. Okay, we will see that. Okay, you can define the international article numbers and you can use it over here. Also the conversion factor, you said it is activity unit is the unit of measurement, but one activity equal to how many hours? You can specify it over here. Let us say one activity unit equal to 24 hours. You can consider it over here. Okay, then you have a long text. If you want to specify some description of this service in long text, you want to write something to the regarding this particular service, you can write it down over here. Okay, so then I will save it. So I just created a service that is service number 2, right? So if I wanted to save this, now it is in the display mode of the service. This is the display mode. If I wanted to change, I will go to the change mode, right? So I will go to the change mode. In the change mode, I can specify the details. Suppose if I missed something, I can maintain it over here and save it. So this is nothing but a change mode of the service master data. Okay, so then what else? What are the tables? What are the list of services? I wanted to see the list of services. Then what is the transaction code? AC06 is the transaction code to see the list of services. If I go to the AC06 and execute it over here, I will be able to see the list of services that are being created as a report. This will show you the list of services that you have created. Okay, then what are the tables that are relevant for the service master data? The tables are ASMD is the service master general data table. General data table and AS SMDT is the service master descriptions table. Descriptions table. So there are two tables. One is general data table and the descriptions table. Okay, so I will go to the ASMD. I will go to SC11. I will go to the ASMD. So I will try to display. So I will click on contains. I will go to the display. So it will give you a general information related to the service. When I say general information, it is nothing but the description and all those things. I will select, I will go to the details. See, this is nothing but a general information of the service master data, like what is the valuation class, what is the service category, what is the base unit of measurement, what is the service group, all those things you will be able to see it over here in this table. Then service master descriptions table is ASMDT. So I will go to the ASMDT. So I will go to the display button. I will go to the contents. I will click on input button. So ASMDT is the service master descriptions table. So here you will be able to see the description of the service master. Okay, so with this we are able to complete a service master data. Then what next? So the next master data is the purchasing info records. Purchase info records. What is the info record? So info record is nothing but one of the database master data in SAP materials management, which will be used to maintain the prices for a particular combination of the material, vendor, purchase organization, plant, and the type of procurement which you are trying to do it. Let us say I have a material X. Material X. I have material X in my company. I am trying to buy this particular material X from a vendor Y. By using the purchasing organization or the procurement department as, let us say, IN47, and for the plant I am trying to procure this particular material for the plant IN47. And the type of procurement, there are various types of procurements, nothing but you have a standard procurement, right? Nothing but info record category, we call it as info category over here. There are various types of info categories, that is, if the info category is a 0, nothing but a standard, nothing but a standard, nothing but a standard procurement. I will have a negotiated price of, let us say, 100 rupees per material X, 100 rupees per X. And info record category or the type of procurement is L. L is nothing but subcontracting procurement. L is subcon procurement. So if it is a subcontracting procurement, I will have a negotiated price of 120 rupees per piece. If it is a pipeline procurement, I will have a negotiated price of 130 rupees per piece. If it is a consignment procurement process, I will have a price of 140 rupees. Means if I am buying a material X from vendor Y and for the plant usage IN47, and by using the procurement department IN47, then, and it is a standard procurement process, then I will pay to the vendor 100 rupees per piece. And if it is a subcontracting procurement process, I will pay 120 rupees. If it is a pipeline, I will pay 130. If it is consignment, I will pay 140. So this is nothing but a info record. I am going to maintain the details of the price in the database tables for the combination of these 5 characteristics, which is nothing but a info record. Why I am maintaining this data in the database? Because I am creating various procurement documents, right? Like I will be creating the contract, I will be creating the order, I will be creating the scheduling agreement, etc. So all these documents I am trying to create. So I want to auto populate the price into the contract or the purchase order by the system automatically. I don't want to enter the price manually. So that is the reason I will be maintaining the prices in the database based upon the negotiated terms and agreements against the vendor, and the same data is getting populated into the PO. When it will be populated automatically into the PO, if I maintain a info record like this, then only it will get populated into the PO. Okay, so this is nothing but a info record. So any doubts on this regarding the info record? Are you able to get it? What is info record? Okay, so the info record will be maintained at 3 levels, right? So the level at which info record can be maintained is general data level, and purchasing organization data level, purchase org data level. Then you have a conditions level. So what are the transactions that are being used for the info record creation? So the transactions are ME11 is for the creation of the info record, ME12 is for the change, ME13 is for the display of the info records. So I will go to the purchasing, and I will go to the master data, and I see there is something known as info record. So here ME11 is for the creation, ME12 is for the change, ME13 for the display of the info record. ME14 is change log. Change log is nothing but I created the info record, I made some changes. Then I wanted to see what is the old change and what is the new change. I want to delete a info record. I will go to ME15. I wanted to change the info records in mass. I will go to ME mass IN. What are the list of transactions so that I will be able to see the reports that belongs to the info record, that is ME1L by vendor master, by vendor number. I wanted to see the info record that are being created by vendor, by material group. Like that, we have various reports. If you want to see the info records, you can see by this. So I want to create an info record. What I will do, I will go to the ME11 transaction code, and I will give the vendor number for which I want to create an info record. So I will give the vendor number as 7030. I think we need to have one vendor, and we can use 7030, but we will see the material. Let me try to create one material quickly. So IN47 0001. I want to create a oxygen. Info record is nothing but a database where you are going to maintain the price details for a particular material. accounting one. So 6027 is the material which got created. So I will take the vendor as the 7030 and I will go to the info record creation. So vendor is 7030, material is the 6027. 6027 is the material. Purchasing organization is IN47. Plant is IN47. And the info record type nothing but a standard info record, subcontracting, pipeline and consignment. There are 4 types of info record categories. One is the subcontracting and pipeline, standard and the consignment. So I am trying to create a standard info record. So I will go to the click on enter button. So this is the general data of the info record. In the general data, you are going to maintain the reminder days. So the first reminder within 10 days of the purchase order creation, second reminder within 20 days, third reminder within 30 days. So vendor material number. So this is the material number in your company for oxygen. What is the vendor? He is going to use it for the oxygen as a material. So I will go to the oxygen 10. Then vendor sub-range functionality. Vendor sub-range is nothing but one of the functionality which will be used to do the transactions against the same vendor in multiple currencies. So I can do the transactions in euro, I can do it in USD, I can do it in INR. So if the vendor is relevant for the multiple transactions in multiple currencies against the vendor, so I will be maintaining the vendor sub-range configuration and selecting over here. Okay, so but there is no vendor sub-range created over here. Also the vendor material group. This is the material group which will be used in case of our company. But what is the material group that is being used by the vendor? You just need to select. Points means if I purchase 1 lakh pieces of oxygen, how many credit points that vendor is going to give? Let us say he is going to give 1 point. If I buy 1 piece of the oxygen, it is like your credit card. If you do the procurement against the credit card in multiple places, so you will get the reward points, right? In the same way, if you buy maximum quantity from a vendor, you will also get the reward points according to the quantity that you are trying to purchase from that particular vendor. So it is nothing but a reward points, you can say. Then salesperson, who is the salesperson at the vendor's location with which you are into touch? Telephone number of the salesperson. A returnable agreement, you already know what is returnable agreement. If you want to return something to this vendor, you need to inform to the vendor and select it over here regarding the return of the materials. Prior to vendor, you are buying this particular material from this vendor today onwards, but who is the vendor that is making the transfer of this material to your company prior to this particular material? So let us say prior vendor is, I can say, I can take any one of the prior vendor. So I will go to the MKVZ. So I will go to the purchase organization 7028. Okay, so then one piece, I think one each. I think 1 point. Okay, 1 credit points to buy if you buy 1 piece of this material. So I will go to the, I am in the general data tab. So again we have a origin data. If you are this is origin data is nothing but the data which will be used for the if you are doing the international transaction, right? Let us say you are buying this material from one of the external country like US, then you need to have the license to buy that particular material from the US, right? So what is the license certificate number? You just need to select the relevant license certificate number, and what is the certificate number you can specify over here, and what is the date till which this particular certificate valid, 30/1/12/2025, and what is the country of origin from which you are trying to import this material, that is India, and what is the region from which you are trying to import or export this material. I am trying to export from Andhra Pradesh, and this is something they gave it, I think it is, what is this number, let me see. You can enter a classifying number in this field, I think. So anything, I think you can use this particular field for any purpose. It is a free text only. And who is the manufacturer of this particular material? If you are exporting or importing this material, who is the manufacturer of this particular material? You just need to select it over here. Then available from this particular vendor, you are trying to buy this particular material from this vendor. From which date he will be available to supply the material? Let us 0106202222. He will be available 13/12/2022. Is he a regular vendor from now onwards? Yes. Okay, so what is the order unit? You know, order unit is each. Okay, so the base unit of measurement is each, and ordering unit also each. So then you need not to maintain any conversion factor. But if you want to maintain the conversion factor, you can maintain 1 each to equal to 1 each. So I will click on enter button. So now I am in the purchasing organizational data. In the purchasing organizational data, we have a planned delivery time. You already know what is planned delivery time. So 30 days. Can anyone guess what is planned delivery time? What is planned delivery time?
వెండర్ నుంచి పర్చేజ్ చేసిన తర్వాత మెటీరియల్ డెలివరీ టైం.
So the time it took means from today you created a one requisition. That requisition should be released. Then it will go to the procurement department. Procurement department will convert the requisition into order, and that order will be given to the vendor. Vendor will take 20 days or 30 days to supply that particular material. So the time that he has taken from the purchase requisition creation to the material that is available in your company against the vendor purchase order is nothing but a planned delivery time. So it can be 30 days or 45 days, etc. So you just need to select a relevant delivery time over here. Okay, so the purchasing group is nothing but the person responsible at the procurement department to do the procurement of this material. Standard quantity, what is the quantity that you want to buy? Maximum. Minimum quantity, let us say 500. Shelf life, how many days this particular material will be available without damaging? So it will be available 60 days. Then differential invoicing. Differential invoicing is not relevant. Differential invoicing is nothing but you received one invoice to the vendor, but you were able to make the payment for only 50 or 70% of the total invoice value. Later, I want to make a payment for the remaining 30%. So I can go ahead and do the remaining 30% payment based upon the differential invoicing is relevant for this particular material. Shipping instructions, how he is going to ship the material. Is he going to ship the material via road mode of transport or air mode or the vessel mode of transport? Vessel is nothing but sea. So you just need to select a relevant mode of transport over here for the procurement. What is the maximum quantity? Maximum quantity also, let us say 1000. Then under delivery tolerance, over delivery tolerance, you already know it. If it is a vendor is a unlimited delivery tolerance, you can select unlimited delivery. GR based invoice verification means if you wanted to process the payment to this particular vendor, first you need to have the goods receipt, then followed by the GR or the invoice verification. Evaluated receipt settlement means if the vendor is a regular vendor, he is supplying the materials from long 20 years, then without receiving the invoice manually from this vendor, you can go ahead and do the automatic invoicing processing for each month and do the payment in the first week of the next month. I will not do any manual invoice verification. Instead, my system will automatically process the invoice for all the supplies that he did it during the previous month. And I am going to do the auto invoice verification and make the payment accordingly. No material text means we have created the 6027 material, right? In the 6027 material, we specified some long text. In case of the sales order text, we have maintained the purchase order text, etc., right? So all those text, if you want to process to the, if you want to transfer to the any one of the purchase order against this particular purchasing info record, you can transfer, or you don't want to display those details, so you can put no material text allowed over here. Acknowledgement required. So you give one purchase order, the vendor should be able to communicate to you stating that I have received so and so purchase order and I am working upon it, so that you will have some clarity on the purchase order status which you have given to the vendor. Okay, so with this we will stop here, so we can continue tomorrow. So we will be able to complete the info record as well as the other one, master data conditional records, in tomorrow's class. Once we completed the master data, we are going to do the transactional data configurations. Okay, thank you for joining the call. Bye bye. Any doubts in this today's class? Do you have any doubts in today's session?
No, sir.
Okay, so then we can meet tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.